that's a big part of it. And people don't realize that the ones that, are this on the fringe and not being part of something really, really amazing that you've been part of for so long. And we'll see it for the World Cup in next summer. There's going to be the same position where they'll be happy for the players if they're doing well, but obviously devastated that you're not part of it.
Yeah.
That's a great segue to a new segment, which Dubs created last night at about 8:37 p.m. How about we try this? That's a great idea, Dubs. Can you explain
I
it?
do my best work, Sharms.
Yeah.
37.
8:37? At 37 or 8:37?
Oh, clearly not at 37. As I said, I'm still surging into my prime.
So explain to the audience and probably to members of the podcast what we're doing now.
That's right. For anybody, Jimmy Forrest, who didn't take a look at the rundown. So it's not trying to predict who that 11 is going to be, who's cemented in Jesse Marsch's lineup for the World Cup next year, but it's who's going to make up kind of the fringe, like who are the players on the bubble, and based on club form, who is rounding into form and is perhaps making a case for themselves to be players, 17, 18, all the way up to 23. Not necessarily by position, but, just what you have to offer. And you've been excluded on the recent ones, and what will draw Jesse Marsch's attention to you and think, okay, this guy's got to be in my squad.
So it's like every Monday we'll do this coming off the weekend performances. Right? So this isn't like, oh, this player will be in the squad, but it's like, this guy's turned some heads here.
Mm-hmm.
He's making Marsch think about this position. You get it? All right, well, Dubs, let's start with you, because you've clearly put a lot of work into this.
Well, it's better that we start with Dubs, because Craig's looking at his phone and having a vape. So I know what he's doing right now.
I'm looking for the squad as well.
Dubs, didn't we discuss this last night?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we'll carry the show here. But let's start with you, Dubsy.
Okay. So much like, when you were assigned to groups to do projects or presentations at school, you always knew that you're going to have to shoulder a little bit more. So that's the way I prepped for this podcast, understanding that Jimmy and Forrest would not know about it until we mentioned it live on the podcast. But I'll say that due to the injuries to Davies, to Johnson, Bombito a little bit, we've maybe seen some faces come into the more recent rosters that wouldn't otherwise have gotten a shot. And I think before the next one is named for the October window, we'll face Australia October 10th in Montreal, and then in New Jersey against Colombia on October 14th. The way that last window was skewed a little bit more towards European players, I think this window, the little bit of play that Marsch has, will be skewed more towards North American or MLS-based players. So that's why I'm thinking who's on the outside looking in, who's typically a part of it, had an injury for that Gold Cup squad, was never really a part of it, and then was left off the September one, is Jonathan Osorio. So I think you had like the leadership push and maybe like that factor with Junior Hoylett and his inclusion in the last one, but again, a European-based player. Whereas now I think you look at, one homegrown player and Canadian boy connecting with another, with Oso linking up with Larea for that equalizer against the Crew on the weekend. I think Oso has consistently shown, coming off the back of that injury, that he's a player that merits inclusion in the men's national team. And obviously leadership, veteran presence, but I think also quality that is continually and consistently underrated by a lot of fans of this men's national team, but I think not underestimated by Jesse Marsch.
Yeah, I like that. Just because TFC had been so poor the last few years, Ozo's stocks really dropped.
Yeah.
But we know how good he can be. And he's a player also that late in the game, if you're, defending a narrow lead and you're going to retain that ball, Ozo's great. He doesn't give the ball up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That being said, though, I mean, there's so much competition for central midfield. I know he can play on the left as well, but his stock definitely, he's on the up from this past weekend. But Jimmy, I know you've watched this guy for years closely. Has he still got, as Dubs mentioned, is there a chance to get into this squad with that depth at midfield?
I mean, you think so. I mean, it's going to be all about form, and you're right. I agree with you. I think Oso's a type of player, when he gets on the ball, he can control a game, keep a rhythm in it. Doesn't, very rarely gives it away. And but it's going to be about the legs as well. Is his legs going to keep going in order for him to make a World Cup. You know, Chouanier is a great player as well. He's playing very good football at the moment. Then you got Saliba in there, who's got legs, who can last 90 minutes. Kone, the exact same thing. There's a lot of players that are making a claim for that position, so it'll be difficult for Oso. I mean, I would like to see him in there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be about his performance next season and how well he does,
and fitness of the other players, and
exactly
heading into it and whatnot. Like Junior Hoylett, like, does that guy play a role? Like, does Junior Hoylett play a role? Is he still?
I pick him.
So. Yeah,
because
it's the way that Jesse plays
in the
as
middle,
well, right?
Play up front. Sorry, Jimmy.
It's the way that Jesse plays. It's high intensity. It's go, and you've got to be able to last.
Right.
So that's going to be the tough one with the midfielders. It's who can go and who can press for 90.
Yep. But you're also going into a major tournament when a lot of these guys maybe have, like, that core, have a World Cup under their belt, Qatar in 2022. But you need these seasoned, experienced heads as part of your team as well. So does it come down? Is it Hoylett versus Oso for, like, one of those? I hesitate to use the word token, but an inclusion of one of these veteran guys who's meant so much to the program. There's place for somebody like that at a major tournament. There absolutely is. And I do think, just to finish off, I think the fact that Johnston is coming off that hamstring injury, it will be out for another few months yet, until he starts to regain his fitness. But I think Segur being deployed as that right back does leave a space for depth for Oso in that midfield, because then you've got Eustachio, obviously, Saliba, as you mentioned, Jimmy, Kone, Chouanier. You know, maybe that fifth spot with Segur mostly being used as a fullback, there is room for Oso.
Versatility, right? So key. He's 33, by the way, going back to prime. Right. So, but Junior he's 35, which really caught up on me. Like, Jesus Christ, he's 35.
More
Junior
of a senior.
Hoylett.
Yeah.
But I mean, is he not more versatile? Junior Hoylett, right wing, central midfield. He can play up top at a push. Not that they'd need him to. I don't know. I think it's one or the other, right? And not everyone's going to play in a World Cup squad, like you said there. So the intangibles are important. Who provides those? You know. Ozo's a captain at his club. Hoylett isn't. It's interesting.
It's what's also interesting is just pure timing of this stuff, right? Like, players who've been Canada stalwarts or leading their position, all of a sudden are timed out by the timing of this tournament. I think of Sam Payet, who Piet, sorry. Sam Payet is
that sounds like one of Charm's pies.
It is.
A small one.
Tortiere.
It's a
tortiere.
It's teeny, tiny one. Just 3
I
inches.
hear how to pronounce it, and I'm still not going to do it.
That's right. Spite is a wonderful thing. Spite is a wonderful thing. But you think of the timing of this all, right? And for Oso, him and Sam Piet are in that same kind of boat where they were always going to be on the team 2 years ago, 3 years ago, not even a question. And all of a sudden, new guys come in. The timing of the tournament means, hey, we're going with our best 23 and then a couple picks that we'll have for leadership. They're in that leadership space now. Osario's in that leadership space. Piet's in that leadership space. And if you're not coming, like, here's the thing. Oso he scored that goal to tie the game a couple of weeks ago. Richie and him have been teaming up really well to profile maybe Oso's kind of, hey, we need to keep you playing. He's coming back from injury. But Sam Piet, he hasn't been playing, hasn't been invited, all these kind of things going on. Being that guy, back to Dubs's 2008 experience, that will be tough. And there's nothing coming. Like, you can't just go, oh, we're bringing this guy. He has to have some level of athleticism that sets him apart still, whether it's good handle, whether it's not just the leadership part of it all. So that's all. It just seems like and the reason I brought this up is because the World Track World Track Championships were right on, And you're just seeing Canada came second in the men's 4x1. But they don't have the speed anymore. And you know, pardon me?
It's handy in the 4x100 meters having the speed.
Yes, I mean they came second, but they with a perfect race with the States, we'll come second now because we just don't have the speed. You can't make up for that, and that's the issue that Marsch is going to have. And you know, shout out to women's rugby Canada making the final too. Forgot about that. Unbelievable.
No one knows about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching every highlight pack because I have no idea. I mean, it was on TSN, I think.
Yeah, it was on TSN.
It's not being promoted properly. It should be promoted.
It's rugby. I love rugby. I covered rugby for years, and I pushed it and I tried to get more access. And it's so niche in Canada. It's so niche.
Did you watch it? Anybody watch it?
My heart.
I just got the highlights in me.
It was an incredible match. Incredible.
They beat the Blackfoot.
Those women are ridiculous.
The Kiwis, they don't lose unless they're playing Canada at the World Cup, apparently. It's brilliant, and I wish it breaks my heart that rugby isn't bigger than it is because it's got a big place in my heart.
Are you going to be okay when England loses, Sharms?
I'm used to that. Apart from 2003 when Johnny friggin' Wilkinson stuck it to the Aussies. Anyway,
that's right.
Back to what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So but this whole leadership thing. Okay, Ozo, Piet, Hoyt. You don't have to put them on the squad if they provide something. Just bring him as a coach, right? You know what I mean? I mean, you can't just bring a guy, I don't think, because he has great leadership attributes. It's a big bonus. But even though, like I said, not everyone's going to play in that squad, they should, if you need them, they're going to need to play and have to play, right? So from a leadership standpoint, if there's a guy that's recently removed from the squad, he's been there recently, but he's not good enough anymore, he's too old, can you bring him as a part of the group, as a coach, a non-playing member, and can he then, Jimmy, still provide the same leadership that he would if he was part of the squad?
So you're telling me if Oso's playing for TFC next year and the World Cup comes and you're going to say, Oso, don't know how to break this here. I know you're playing right now, but is there any chance you can come to the World Cup? Not as a player,
but
as
it's
a
shut
coach.
down, though. MLS is shut down for most of it, right?
Yeah, for like 2 weeks or something, just for group
stage.
Yeah,
but Canada, with respect, I mean, who knows how far they go, but they could be back by the round of 16.
You can't ask them to come be a coach.
No? Okay, that's the answer. That's why I pose a question.
Yeah,
you can't. But
you can't. You could bring him in as a, not a squad player.
Just as a friend of the group.